Thank you all for tuning in and being so prompt. I will begin in just a moment. I'm going to give about one more minute to allow my team to join. Okay, great. See them. And we have our special guest with us today, Ms. Lori Gay of NHS. I will, for the sake of time, I will jump right into this week's update. I will provide coronavirus updates, quick city updates, and then we will go directly into our interview with Lori Gay, who is the president and CEO of Neighborhood Housing Services of LA County. They're actually located right here in the great city of Compton at the Center for Sustainability, located on Dwight and Rosecrans. And so I will get into city updates, and then we'll go right into our interview with Ms. Gay. So good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 29th, and on the coronavirus front, we currently have, as of yesterday, April 28th at 8 p.m., we have over 20,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Los Angeles County, including 1,000 deaths. In the city of Compton, we have 197 confirmed cases and currently no reported deaths, thankfully. I know that all of us are really eager to get back to normal life, but it is so critical that we continue to stay at home, that we shelter in place, that we practice social distancing, that we wear our masks, that we continue to wash our hands and take all precautions so that once we are able to open up in phases, that we do not have a spike in cases causing another stay-at-home order. Just yesterday, Governor Gavin Newsom described a 4-stage reopening plan in his address yesterday, and we are monitoring the specific guidelines that his office will bring forward in the upcoming weeks. For now, we are continuing to adhere to the May 15th Safer at Home order, and we're also continuing to monitor this situation with our county health officials as well. And so I just want to continue to reiterate that safety is our number one priority. Also, as a reminder that masks are required when visiting essential businesses. I also like to thank the residents that have reported essential businesses that have not been following health guidelines. We did report that to the county health department, and I'm aware that several citations have been issued and also cease and desist orders. And so we are working together to address safety within our community. Also, I'd like to just thank all of our community leaders that have really stepped up in an amazing, incredible way during this time to provide critical resources to the Compton community. We thank you for all of the members that are a part of our Compton United response effort. We call it CURE. It's a weekly call where we come together, report on our activities, also connect additional resources. If there are needs, we work together to meet those needs, and then also find ways to expand capacity to service more residents in the city of Compton. As a result of our CURE call, we do have additional resources that have been reported. Beginning this Friday at Compton Career Link, the operation operated by the Chamber of Commerce will also be continuing to service walk-up and drive-through patrons for the food bank, and they're also just recently partnered with Best Start to provide additional packaged meal boxes to residents. And so currently over thousands of residents are served through this combined effort on a weekly basis. And we are also on the city side approving a network for food pantries to ensure that all the food pantries are receiving the same goods, including healthy protein, having access to fresh vegetables, starches, and then even some desserts. So we're making sure that everyone has the same access and balanced meals at all of our locations. So we will be releasing details, and I'll just preempt you all that the locations for these food operations will continue to be Compton Career Link. We're also expanding to Gonzalez Park in District 1. We're expanding to Kelly Park in District 4, and we're expanding to Burrell McDonald Park in District 3. And operations will be launched on May 9th. And so we'll provide additional details to the community. They will be operating a food bank. There also will be masks on site. And then we'll also be, we're partnering once again with the Good Plus Foundation to deliver diapers. And so we will be dropping a combined 200,000 diapers to various locations in the city of Compton. So we will make sure that everyone is covered. as well. Many of you are aware that last week we announced a partnership and a donation with Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine to help Compton get through the next 30 days and during the shelter-in-place mandate. As a result, we are also announcing another hot meal program that will be available starting next week. And additional program details will be released as well, and we'll continue to share. And again, it will be available beginning next week, but we'll share details at the end of this week as we finalize specifics for that program. But there will be, on average, of an additional 500 free meals available per day for Compton residents. Also, this Saturday, May 2nd, we are partnering with Pull Up Neighbor for a mask distribution from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Compton Town Center. This is an effort organized by this organization to deliver first responders masks throughout different communities throughout the state. We're the kickoff community, and so we will be ensuring that Compton Fire, our paramedics are all covered with the K95 mask, and we will be distributing over 4,000 masks to Compton community members. So you will be able to drive up or to walk up to access these masks. Also, on the city side, we have our printed newsletter is being printed now, and you should be receiving it in your mailbox any day now, as promised. The actual electronic copy can also be accessed at www.comptoncity.org. Also, if you follow the city's social media channels at Compton City Hall, you can also see an electronic preview of the content there. So lots of information for COVID-19, as well as different city updates on projects, street repair that has been approved, and other updates. So please tune in. Also, I'd like to bring your attention to the U.S. Census. We are still in census response mode. It has been reported to the City of Compton that only 48.5% have responded, which is a very low response rate. It is critical for our community to complete this because historically, Latino and African American communities have been disproportionately counted in the census, which keeps us from receiving our fair share of federal dollars, resources, and programs for our community. So this is a quick action item that can only takes 2 minutes. I filled it out myself for my family, but you can literally secure millions of dollars for the city of Compton in the next 10 years. And so again, I'm just asking everyone, let's make sure that Compton is counted. Our community does count, and we need to make sure that the federal government understands our population, our needs, and that we get the resources that we deserve. So we're going to continue to promote this. But again, this is something that is critical that we all must partake in. So please spread the word to your neighbors, your friends, family. Let's make sure that we count Compton. And I just want to give you a quick preview. The City of Compton, we did receive our notification from the federal government for an additional allocation for COVID-19. We are currently developing the specifications for a small business relief program. We hope to roll out the details of this program, this grant program, within the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned. I will make sure that you all are kept in the loop. But there will be funding relief for small businesses that have been impacted by COVID-19 in the City of Compton. Our hope is to ensure that our small business fabric remains strong and that we get through this trying time together, and that COVID-19 does not destroy the critical infrastructure in our community, which are our small businesses as well. So more information to come as well. At the state level, the governor approved a senior meals program, which will be administered through the county. And so we have already reached out, ensuring that Compton meal providers, small businesses are included in the program. Seniors will have an opportunity to select the meals that they are going to be receiving or delivered on a daily basis. And so we're ensuring that Compton small businesses are also a part of this effort. And the City of Compton also will provide a monetary contribution toward this program, as all other cities that participate. And so we are gearing up to also expand additional hot meal access in the City of Compton. So more resources are coming online to help us weather not only the stay-at-home period, but beyond. We know that recovery will be a process. It's not going to be an event. And so we'll have to work together to ensure that Compton comes out of this time. And I believe we can come out stronger by us coming together. So I'm going to now just do a quick Oh, lastly, I also want to just give you an update. I shared that we approved CIP 1801, which is Capital Improvement Program 1801 for residential and main street repairs that are happening in the city of Compton. This is approximately $6 million project. The contractor has done walkthroughs, and the notice and schedule to proceed will be provided to the city within 7 to 10 business days. So we will be able to notify the areas that will be affected by these street repairs. We're really excited about this extensive program. And then additionally, we also approved a residential street repair program that will also be coming online within the next 7 to 10 business days. The preliminary streets have been assessed and they're being confirmed by staff, and we will notify the community as to the areas that will be impacted by this repair program. So within the last 3 weeks, we approved approximately $10 million of additional street repairs in the city of Compton. So we'll keep you all updated on that. Now, moving forward, I am going to just do a quick introduction to my special guest, Lori Gay. She is the president, CEO, just boss woman of Neighborhood Housing Services, Los Angeles County. She has been serving communities in LA County for over 30 years now. She is a tremendous warrior, visionary. She saw the opportunity to build the Center for Sustainability and made it happen. And so they're located at 1051 West Rosecrans Avenue in front of Gonzalez Park, transformed the whole corner. You can see the raised planters. If you go inside, you can figure out how to start a business. You can figure out how to buy a home. You can figure out how to get your credit together. You can get your life together if you go into the Center of Sustainability. And so according to Lori Gay, NHS is known for 5 key business lines that involve financial education and counseling, affordable mortgage lending services, construction services and management, mission-driven real estate, and neighborhood revitalization and advocacy. But I will let her speak on these items. I'm finished with my introduction. But good afternoon, Ms. Lori. Thank you for joining me.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. There's so much happening, and I know that you all, with your team at NHS, had kicked right into gear with COVID-19 and start offering programs and services. Can you just give us an overview of what's currently happening at NHS for the people of Compton?
Yes, thank you. So we're offering free counseling online. We added to our workshops that were being held at the center for the last couple of years once we implemented the stay-at-home order. You know, it's devastating for me because I see the center as like this safe space, right? The place you come for peaceful learning. But the end result is we want to be safe. So online, we're doing free homebuyer workshops, free mortgage counseling, mortgage assistance workshops for families. We're doing one-to-one counseling like we've always done. Once a person attends a workshop, if they need a counselor for their specific challenge or opportunity, they can call and get assigned a counselor. We added our landlord training regimen. We've always done it, but it's kind of been one-to-one. But now Tuesdays at 7 is free landlords training, your mom and pop landlords with all these rent relief, rent forgiveness type language, moratoriums going on. It really hurts the landlord who's the everyday person because they don't, who's going to make sure that there's a cash flow on their property. As we started doing that, small businesses, of course, ran into their snag. And then houses of worship, you know, the faith community, people don't realize what it takes to keep a business open, a business of any type. And so with the faith community not being able to have people dwelling together and doing their own online services, we know that tithes and offerings are down. Mm-hmm. And so many of the faith leaders that we deal with, we host a faith leaders roundtable once a quarter at the center. And we know how many of them are struggling. And so as a part of this Tuesdays at 7, we added in the Paycheck Protection Program that many of you have heard about through the CARES Act. The federal government put in like $350 billion or whatever in the first round, and it wasn't enough. Our community didn't get to access it in the way many had hoped. You know, some of the big corporate 500s took advantage, and we'll beat them down to get the money back. But I think what we want to do is encourage people to apply and to never leave money on the table. Compton is as important as any other city in this darn country and the globe. And so if you have a small business, you haven't been able to figure out the 1.5 page form because it's gobbledygook, right? NHS can help. It's a free service. And so we walk people through on Tuesdays. But there are also all kinds of small business development entities that are assisting. Pacific Coast Regional is one of our major partners in the center, and they are leading the charge throughout the Southland and certainly Compton, South LA, and neighborhoods that we all care about. All you have to do is go on their website, pcr.org, and you click on the button to start the application for this government money, and they will assign you an advisor for free.
Wow.
So this is a free, we always worry free doesn't really mean free, but if in fact the government's supposed to kick in to help us now, we want to accept it. And what we're not talking about is handouts and welfare and all the images people decide to get, and then they sit in their home and they have a problem. What we're suggesting is, with a group like PCR, doing a shameless plug for them because they lead the region. And there are folks that are there to help in English and Spanish. And then groups like ours are feeding into them, so if you know NHS and you feel comfortable starting with us to figure out whether your apartment building or your business can get some help, then call us. We're good. Wow. But I think all of us are doing these online workshops. We're kind of ghetto gangster in our workshops. I look like I'm looking now. We're online talking, it's not formal. It's just what you got, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that helps our community. We're professional people, but you also need to know you can trust us. And right. I'm not here to take nothing from you. What we're trying to do is make sure we access some stuff. And I got a call yesterday, Mayor Brown, from some, federal folks, electeds, talking about NHS needed to apply for some of this money to loan money to people, or to make it available for free or whatever is possible. And I said, well, small business kind of not my thing. I mean, I run one. They said, but you know what? You need to get money for Compton. You need to get money for South LA, right? For North Long Beach. And make sure our businesses are tight. Mm-hmm. Make sure that our landlords don't run into problems. And so I'm open for whatever can work. And then we're also joining arms with many, many groups to make sure that the work continues to happen. Please don't sit in your home or business and be nervous and not talk to us. There's just no reason for that. And right. If in these new dollars can be used to help support our communities where we live, work, care about. You've raised generations. Don't let them die too young on this thing. And so we're protecting people. Mayor Brown, if you don't mind, I'll take a moment. And I'll try to not be emotional. Today is my mother's last day.
Oh, wow.
I've been in the hospital, not with COVID, but she went in there 2 weeks ago and she's not going to make it. And I'm going to leave after this interview and they're going to take all the meds out. And we know she's going to pass away. It's too much support. You've lived through this too, so I know you don't mind me sharing. Wow. The worst thing would be that we don't help each other right now and support each other. And I'm going to lose my mom of 88 years to just long-term life and health challenges right here at the end. But many people have COVID and they know they feel sick and you're not getting tested. Don't do that. And so those are the things we're saying. We're putting out weekly e-blasts. We're telling our truth, right? I'm sharing about my own mother. There's no shame. There's no shame in getting help. And so that's really my message overall is please get the help. And anything that's available for free from these long-term groups like ours, there's a number of us, just tap into the services, tap into the help, tap into getting what you need to get through the crisis. We've seen nothing like it. And we don't know when some of the challenges will end, but if we team up, we're stronger together. Absolutely. And so that's what I just wanted to share.
Well, thank you, Lori. And first of all, just my heart and prayers will go out to you about your mom. I know this has been a process for many years, but I know God is with you all. And if I could just kind of concentrate a little bit on the assistance that you all provide for homeowners. I know that many homeowners are going through some uncertain times, and even though there are mortgage freezing going on, there's still balloon payments that will be due once the freeze thaws out, and people are stressed about it, concerned about it, Could you just talk about what resources you all have to help homeowners?
Sure. So half our work is helping homeowners. The other half is helping home buyers.
Right.
So for homeowners right now, what's critical is that they understand the terms of their contract. And if they want to call NHS 213-381-2862, and I know you guys will post that number and do your magic,
Yeah.
but they can call us for help. Again, free services. We don't ever charge for mortgage assistance counseling. And our counselors, I got a team, these folks, they lived through the last crisis with me when we were helping, 2,000 families a week sometimes. It's just unbelievable. And so we're not at those levels. The crisis is more widespread right now. But I think the point is we have good experience. The 90-day forbearance period that was to help so many families across the country, our latest numbers reflect that it applies to only 28% of all mortgages.
Wow.
And you think about, and so we have the studies in now that are showing 72% across America, this stuff doesn't apply to them. But if it does apply to you, you need to know that. And then it's calling your lender or servicer to ask for the forbearance. Every lender is applying that forbearance differently. And so sometimes what's helpful with our team, if you call us, is we'll know the facts on your lender, right? And if it's Bank of America, Chase, JoJo's, I don't know who people borrow it from sometimes, but we can walk through that. People should get a hold of their mortgage contract. Just find an old mortgage statement, if you still get mail. If you get it online, just get your latest one and then call us with that in hand because it helps. If you can't find it, don't distress, still call. And let us walk through what your options could be so that when you call your lender, you already kind of know, right, where you're going. What we've seen out there is that a number of people are calling and then they're being told, if we give you 90 days break to not pay for a minute, at day 91, we want all our money back. Well, that's not normal forbearance. Forbearance says, let me take my 90 days and stick those payments at the back of my loan at year 31, so to speak, if you've got a 30-year mortgage. And so being careful to not just agree to something, right, matters. I had a client talk to me this week, and she was happy because she got her forbearance, but she said, I never saw any paperwork. I said, well, did you record the call? Well, wait a minute. Well, how do you know you got it? She said, well, they told me to call a certain number back, and it tells my loan number and says I have a forbearance. Document hearing that over the phone, right? Record that. I said, take a snapshot if there's something online, because they should be sending you a new contract with an amendment that talks about that. So there's a lot of weird things going on. If you need a guide, you can call NHS and the staff will help, and they're grateful to serve you, whoever it is. And I think the other thing we're seeing that's big is the landlords, like I mentioned, and if a tenant is exercising their right to not pay rent for at least the 90 days. Now, the city of LA, Mayor Brown, just passed 6 months. And then the county is talking about passing 12 months of rent relief where you don't pay rent cancellation. I don't know how we survive.
Yeah. I don't know how property owners are going to come out of that. And I know that there's a need for relief, but the buck is going to stop somewhere. And I just hope that it just doesn't unravel the fabric of our communities with resulting in, big corporate ownership of properties in our cities, which is already an issue, as you know.
Yes. Well, what I would say is that NHS joined late last month something called the Healthy LA Coalition, and you can look them up online. And it's a little frightening because 95% of the groups are tenants' rights, public advocates, they fight, they'll pick at your house, that kind of stuff. But we joined to be the voice for mortgage protection. We joined to be a voice for mom and pop landlords. We joined to be a voice for potential buyers who can help homeowners respectfully transition if they do need to move because they can't retain their property. We'd love to keep that in the community and not have those corporate people come in and take us over. We joined for reasons like why we built the center. It had sat 38 years vacant. and we created it into something else that the community could love on. That's possible with vacant property. And so as there is transition coming and ways for us to retain our properties too, we want to be a voice for that. And so we have had a phenomenal time, but also it's a journey. And I just say for residents who are very active and want to be involved on the community engagement side and have a voice in the process, they're welcome to join with the coalition, healthyla.org, and get involved. And I think what we want to do is protect Compton, right? And we don't want to see everyone losing their home. Compton is phenomenal because of its long-term generational home ownership and wealth building for families who are Black and brown, white, Asian, whatever. Get in here. That's what Compton is great for. In my mind, I'm a housing person. So we want to protect that as best we can.
Absolutely, Lori, and you've always been on the forefront and just thinking down the line. And I know that nothing's changed. We're looking at the immediate needs, but also planning for the future. And community stabilization is definitely on the menu. We're working on some things now. We look forward to just continuing to partner on that. But it's just going to be critical to sustain our community and to protect it from outside interest, looking to replace people for sure.
Yeah. They don't mind replacing you, so just say no.
Absolutely. That's the key, say no. I know that we touched a little bit on the small businesses, and you talked about the Paycheck Protection Program, 3Ps. And I know that the Senate and Congress, they just approved another round of funding for the program, so it's open again. And as of yesterday, people could start reapplying for benefits within that program, and also unemployment benefits. So are there any other just maybe small business tools that you can just highlight in your experience?
Well, I think certainly for small businesses, with any government, federal government programs, what you pause about is that they know all your business. Okay. The second pause is generally that you may or may not have your paperwork in order. And so these technical assistance providers like NHS, Pacific Coast Regional, and others, it's our job to help you as a free service to figure out the paperwork. And on that payroll protection program, it's a very simple 1.5-page application, but you do have to provide what are called the 941 or 940 tax returns on what payroll you spent over the last year. And so I think sometimes people get stuck there. They may or may not have filed certain things properly, but the groups can help. The other thing we know very much, like you mentioned, is there is business relief coming. So Compton gets additional money. You want to be in the queue. You want the city to know who you are, so that in fact, if there are additional relief programs that show up, you can access them. I know that the county is trying to set up a relief program. They did the initial one and it was shut down in like 6 hours. I mean, it was ridiculous. And they had $27 million for a bunch of small businesses that may not have accessed the bigger program. And their website was so overwhelmed, they had to shut down the portal. They are regrouping. So that money may or may not be available immediately in the future, but I know they're regrouping and they're trying to make it available to all the cities in the county, not just unincorporated areas. So that's powerful. I think you have different corporate segments that are giving money. Google just did 800 million. I don't know the details of that, but the point is keep your eyes open. Right. And in the space with some of the technical assistance providers, because it's some of our job. I'm not as great at the small business part, right? Because I'm a houser, but we know how to connect you with people so that you can get what's available. NHS got its first commitment under one of the economic development grants from SBA. That was $10,000. Now that, frankly, given the size of our business, doesn't make or break us, right? But it's a $10,000 grant, I'm taking it. And we applied under the payroll protection program so we could get 2.5 months of relief, right? And they tell you the rules so you don't have to pay it back. Or if you just want it to be a loan, you can do that. So those options and having an advisor, I think, matter. I don't know what else is coming. I have always said out loud, spank me if I'm wrong, that the entertainment community and some of the other communities of high wealth, sports, cough up some money. Let's help each other out right now. And I know that, Mayor Brown, you've got great relationships, people you're bringing in. And then it's all of us thinking out loud about who else is there. And
Mhm.
if we all chip in just a little bit, I think we
Absolutely.
will survive this time. And I'm looking for everywhere I can give a little extra $5, right? And so we have some other resources. We teamed up with Common Threads, which is the food education group for a lot of teachers and families, and they got a large donation nationwide. And so we took a very small piece of that and then harvested our garden at the center and took meals and vegetables next door to South Bay Retirement Residence, right next door to us.
Mhm.
Those kinds of things, every bit helps right now, folks. And I just want to encourage you, don't shut down. Please don't do that. Leave yourself open, not only to receive help, but to give help.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to get smart, Mayor Brown, about getting online with food shows and Gangster Gardner Ron Finley. I was texting him this morning. We want people to find new ways to thrive in their
Absolutely.
home, and we're now using the language "housing equals health."
Mhm.
We feel it now more than ever. But small business equals health too, and
Absolutely.
so staying connected—that's my main tip.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lori. You're just such a wealth of knowledge and information, and just love pouring out on the community. We will continue to keep you in the loop. We have different folks on the call. I don't know if people have any specific questions that maybe we can toggle to the chat feature. You all can feel free to ask any questions if you have any for Lori Gay. We have, let me see. Okay. I don't see any yet, but if there are any questions that come in, we'll ask. But thank you, Lori, for your time.
Thank you.
And we will continue to keep you in the loop. We are working on a larger vehicle to be able to bring more resources and connect the entertainment industry and different industry leaders to Compton in a really intentional and sustainable way. I know that we're all focused on the now, but we're also planning on the aftermath and how we can navigate our community and keep our small businesses in place, keep our homeowners in place to make sure that we can thrive in the post COVID-19 world. So NHS is always on the top of our list with partners, and
Thank
I will
you.
keep you in the loop. But we have some good developments coming forward. And then on the Google side, we actually had a call with Google last week, and they're rolling out their $800 million fund. They'll be going through CDFIs to
Okay.
distribute funding. So we're making sure that we're connected to that. And then also they're rolling out a whole small business technical suite. So I know that you all partnered with Google about a month ago, right before the COVID-19 shutdown for SBDC, but they are sending over a whole wealth of tools for the city that we'll share with all of our community partners, but basically just transforming our world online so people can keep going. So they wrote out a lot of great things that we'll share. So thank you all so much. Thank you,
Thank
Lori.
you.
And just prayers with you and your mom, your family. I hope you take some time. I know you work all the time, but I hope you take some time to just think of her and
We're
enjoy.
gonna. Thank you. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you all for tuning in and take care. And we will see you next week. God bless you all. Bye bye.
Bye.